This is my story to tell. Stories, such as moral stories, have the power to shape mankind's destiny. Some stories have survived time and are able to deliver universal messages, transcending generations. This is my story to tell. Did you ever think about what is it in those stories that enable them to survive time? Thousands of years have passed by and people still practice and live their lives with beliefs that originated thousands of years back in time. Why? Some stories carry universal messages. These universal messages touch us deeply in our soul. They unite us and they tell us a story about ourselves and how we should be and what we should do. In other words, they guide us. They bring us together. They give us hope. They tell us a story of where we come from and who we are, and most important, they leave us with a promise that we are here to stay. Why do we need morality? It is good to remember that man is also good and also evil from its nature. Those are two constructs that can and must exist together. These two are real expression of a united personality, as no man is perfect, but it is to aspire for perfectionism. Stories, such as moral stories, have the power to shape mankind's destiny. This is your story to tell. Since the dawn of human history, our species has always been tribal. Each tribe with its own stories to tell. The tribal mindset ruled for centuries, whereas wars on land and natural resources dominated the earth. The results of this tribal mentality has been a never-ending story of wars and misery. Each one of us likes to think of himself as a good person, that he understands the pain of the other and try to do well in society. Let me ask you 3 questions. A suffering mother for the loss of her son, does it matter what color or race she is? A struggling young man aspiring to succeed in the real world and make his parents and family proud, is it any difference where he comes from and what is his name? And what about seeing an animal suffer? Is it any different than our own pain? Stories, such as moral stories, have the power to shape mankind's destiny. Some stories deliver universal messages, transcending generations. This is our new story to tell. Stories have been with us ever since we learned to gather around fire, look up at the sky above and question our place on this planet. The modern tribes, such as nations, religions, institutions and other communities which we are part of, create and shape our human nature. There is one very real reason we should pay attention to the stories we are told, one that takes us back to our very nature, as thoughts create reality. Thoughts create reality. Why is it that we tell stories of hated, stories of misuse of God's names, and justify our actions as God's will? Racism and discrimination can be driving forces which lead people to hatred and closed-mindedness, two sentiments that contradict all given values by all religion. Modern man is in need of direction and a definition of his very essence. Even though the sage had a vision for a holistic world, we ended up using them to cause division. As for that, a fresh call is needed to rise above the division. Let me share with you a story. Once upon a time, there were 5 prince brothers. One day the parents scolded them and said, "Dear sons, the day has come. As to become king, you must find a treasure." After then, each prince was given with a golden key, and they were told to return to the palace after 9 months. They knew the parents were wise, and it would not be an easy task. So the 5 brothers gathered and decided that each would seek in the other corner of the world. The first climbed the highest mountain, the second dived to the abyss of the ocean. The third went to the hottest desert. The fourth went to the coldest Arctic. And the fifth entered the depths of the jungle. After 9 months of hardship, dangers, and adventures, they all returned to the palace, empty-handed. Dear mother and father, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I failed. I don't deserve to be a king. Each said, and each added, how another brother deserves better, deserves to be the king. The parents said, each of you has done marvelously, and yet, to become king, you must find the treasure. Dear mother and father, please give us a clue, they added. Well, the key to the treasure is in your heart. The 5 brothers sat down and thought. Then, as the spirits connected, each pointed at each other's hand that was holding the key. The 5 brothers connected the keys and got a heart shape. The treasure is in our heart! Each cried loud, and they all hugged and danced with joy. Dear sons, you have succeeded. Now, go and spread your seeds of love in the 5 corners of the world. Know it. We love you all. United, you will lead the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We need to adopt a new global mindset. The time has come. It is for mankind's survival that we must rise above our tribal mindset. Let me ask you 3 questions. Are you able to start listening to each other? To collaborate? Are you able to respect each other no matter what? And the third one. Do you wish to be part of a system that adopts and credits altruistic behavior? We have specialized in learning, in associating, and in imitating. Altruism, generosity, and cooperation are traits that define us as human. We reign supreme, able to do the very best and the very worst. Love and violence, good and evil. We have conquered the world, yet what's next? From the pantheons of the Roman gods to the heavenly stories, they have the power to shape mankind's destiny. Some stories have survived time, able to deliver universal messages, transcending generations. This is our new story to tell.